Earlier this month, I got into a fight over Angine de Poitrine. Specifically, I may have been completely wrong about the time signature of their song Fabienk. My live stream audience of 2,000 people told me the song was in 7/8. I thought that it was a complex mess of 3/8 and 11/8. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but in my quest to prove that I was right, I found something crazy, something I didn't expect, something everyone else has missed. Is there a secret message hidden in the drum patterns? Are the band trying to tell us something else in code? To solve the fight, we need to solve the code. But first, let's look at why 2,000 people thought that I was an idiot. Chapter 1, Simple versus Complex. Like many of us, I've been a bit obsessed with Angine de Poitrine. Even my 14-year-old son came home talking about them. So I've done a few videos on their music. And I also did a live stream talking about the specific song Fabienk. I think it's my favourite of their songs, although UTZP or is pretty awesome too. So in this live stream, I wanted to get deep into the time signatures. That's what I try and do on this channel. Think deeply about music, find the secrets and hidden meanings, and then talk about it. So in preparing for the live stream, I sat down to try and work out the Fabienk time signature. Man, that was challenging. The guitar starts an edgy riff which feels like the accents are all over the place. In most music, you can hear where the main beat falls. You can't do that in Fabienk, or actually most of Angine de Poitrine, to be fair. But I did have some clues to help me. Firstly, ADP use a looper for their songs, so they capture fixed length loops as part of the performance. And within these loops, they play around with the time signatures. But because it's a fixed length loop, they're constrained. There needs to be the same number of overall measures in each loop. So when later on they play a nice disco vibe with 14 clear quarter notes, you can use that to work out the time. It's really easy to follow. So this tells us that there are 14 quarter notes or 28 eighth notes in this loop. Awesome. Back to the crazy guitar part. If you listen to it, where does it start and stop? It's still really hard to tell. So I sat down and listened to it like 100 times, and I think I came up with the exact split. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. And I presented this to the 2,000 people that joined me on the live stream. I was so busy selling this view that I missed loads of comments that were challenging me. Loads of people disagreed with me. My favourite commenter was Matt Lolan Custom. He's a great energy in the chats about ADP, and he clearly has a deep appreciation and understanding of music. He said the following: I think you might be overcomplicating the beginning. It's just 7/8. You can change where phrases start and end without having to move bar lines around and make an 11 here and a 3 there, etc. So clearly he thinks it's 4 bars of 7/8, and many other people do too. Fight, fight, fight. Honestly, there's a lot of merit in this comment. If you're a dancer or if you're just listening for the feel, this absolutely works. Matt Nolan Custom isn't wrong, but there is an important question to answer. Chapter 2, does it even matter? On my ADP content, there's a certain type of comment that I've been getting. It basically says, stop analysing the music, just enjoy it, which is a really fair point. Music exists to give us enjoyment. I just happen to enjoy analysing the shit out of it. But anyway, if we bring this energy to this discussion, does it even matter what the exact time signature actually is? The answer to this question reveals quite a bit. Firstly, time signatures are not a real thing. They're a made-up language that we have agreed to help us to communicate. It's the same thing with notes. We've decided that there are 12 notes in a chromatic scale. ADP have decided there are 24. And everyone is right. Notes are our attempt to organise frequencies in the sound spectrum. Beats and time signatures are our attempt to organise the timings of sounds. The really important point here is this: the sounds themselves sound amazing. The complexity and chaos of the opening riff of Fabienk resolves into steady and recognisable pulses, and the transition between the chaos and the calm is super satisfying. So actually, if you get down to it, it doesn't matter what the notes are or the time signatures. So why do we even need time signatures? The place where it's really important to use correct time signatures is if you want somebody else to play your music. Composers need to be really clear on what they want the performer to do. The exact sound the composer wants needs to be communicated. The language that we have come up with to communicate these things includes things like time signatures. It's the music theory and notation landscape. So if Matt Nolan Custom and I decided to get together and play Fabienk, then the time signatures would matter. We would need to make sure that we had the same understanding of what we need to do to play the piece. So is this something that we only see in Fabienk, or are there more instances of this time signature carnage? Chapter 3, where else do Angine de Poitrine do this? I think the answer to this question is this: they do it in every song, and I've gone through and found some really interesting examples. In Sania's, they move from 2 bars of 12/8 to 3 bars of 4/4. This is an incredible moment in that opening song of their KEXP performance. the bouncing groove turns into a faster, more urgent tempo. In Klek, if I've said that right, they move between 5 bars of 4/4 and 4 bars of 5/4. This one's a bit more subtle. Clearly 4 bars of 5/4 have 20 measures, and 5 bars of 4/4 also have 20 measures. The change between these time signatures is less obvious, but when you move to 5/4, it takes you from this stable, recognizable beat to something a bit unsettling. It's a great feel. Sherpa, interestingly, seems to fit into a safe 4/4 vibe all the way through, although they do play around with the accents quite heavily. That makes it sound like it falls into a sort of triplet time in the beginning. And if you listen all the way through the song, it's always in 4/4, but at the end, when Kun, the guitarist, is going mental on the guitar, Klek is accenting a beat that feels like it's kind of 3/8 or 6/8. But I would say that Sherpa itself is 4/4 all the way through. And that's just the other 3 songs on their KEXP performance. Next time you're listening to ADP, see if you can catch these changes. I find it really satisfying. Sometimes I need to sit down wherever I am and desperately tap out on the table, because this band are masters of disguising those changes and tricking your ears and brain. So, after everything, was I wrong? Here's where I landed. I think Matt Nolan Custom, clearly an expert musician, has a point. Perhaps I was overcomplicating it. If you wanted to write down this music for someone else to play, writing it in a 7/8 would be much easier to read. So, I'm happy to concede the point to Matt. But here's the thing, this fight sent me back to the song. And when you go back and listen to it that carefully, you start noticing things that you missed the first time. Things like this. Chapter 4, What None of Us Spotted. Now, I'm 90% sure I've spotted something that I haven't seen anyone else talk about in relation to Fabienk. The other day, I was talking about Morse code with one of my kids. They went to Bletchley Park, the place in the UK where the Enigma code was decoded. In this visit, there's a lot of coding discussion, and Morse code is taught to the kids. Morse code is obviously an old-fashioned code for hiding secret messages, and I think that Angine de Poitrine are using it. I think that Fabienk is hiding a secret word in the song. Can you do me a favour? Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. I might be wrong. It's really hard to get the dots and dashes lined up, but I'm convinced I'm right. Or maybe I've had too much coffee and listened to this song one too many times. I know you'll let me know if you disagree, and maybe we can have another fight. Going back to the original point in this video, whatever the time signature is, it's clear that Angine de Poitrine put a lot more into this music than anyone realised, and that's why this fight was worth having. If you like this analysis, there are a couple of other videos I've done about Angine de Poitrine that you can see on your screen here.